Welcome to Sacred Stories, Everyday Lives. I am Adeline St. Clair. This is where ancient stories meet ordinary lives, where scripture is not distant or unreachable, but something lived, felt, and carried. Here we slow down. We listen to the voices that were often overlooked. We stay with stories that do not resolve neatly. And we watch for faith, not in perfection, but in survival, endurance, and quiet courage. This is the story of Hagar, and it might just be your story too. Hagar appears in the Bible without fanfare. She is introduced simply as a servant, someone whose life unfolds inside someone else's plans. Her role is to serve, not to be celebrated. The story does not ask what she wants, only what she can provide. And if we are honest, many of us understand that feeling. We know what it is like to be needed, but not truly valued. To be part of something important, yet never fully seen. To matter functionally, but not personally. Hagar's life becomes complicated when she is pulled into a situation she did not create. She becomes pregnant with Abraham's child at Sarah's own request, but suddenly her presence becomes inconvenient. Tension grows, resentment builds, and the solution is not reconciliation, it is removal. She is sent away. The Bible does not soften this moment. Hagar is released into the wilderness, pregnant and alone, with barely enough supplies. There is no map showing where to go, no promise that things will work out, just open desert, burning sun, and crushing uncertainty. The wilderness in the Bible is rarely just a physical place. It represents a season of life stretch where direction feels blurred and everything familiar disappears before anything new becomes clear. We enter our own wildernesses in similar ways, through loss, through burnout, through choices others make that leave us carrying consequences we never asked for. Sometimes, we do not even realize we are wandering until we look around and recognize how lost we have become. Hagar reaches her breaking point. She runs out of water. She reaches the end of what she can carry. And in that moment, she does something deeply human. She stops trying to hold it together. She weeps. She allows herself to collapse into grief. This matters more than we realize. We often believe that faith requires us to stay composed, that trust means enduring without tears, that strength looks like pressing forward without pause. But Hagar shows us something different. Honesty before God does not disqualify us from being met. It invites it. And that's exactly when God finds her. Not after she regains her strength, not after she figures out her next move, not after she pulls herself together. God meets her right in the middle of her unraveling. Instead of giving instructions right away, God asks a question. Where have you come from, and where are you going? It is not a test. It is an invitation, an opening for her to speak her reality out loud. Hagar answers honestly. No spiritual polish, no pretending. She tells the truth about where she has been and admits she does not know what comes next. And then something remarkable happens. God does not dismiss her pain. God does not overlook her. God sees her situation clearly and provides what she needs to keep going. Hagar responds in a way no one else in all of Scripture does. She gives God a name. You are the God who sees me. Let that sink in for a moment. Hagar is not the central figure of the Bible's story. She is not the promise bearer. She is not the one who gets highlighted in Sunday school. And yet, she is the one who names God from lived experience, from pain, from being found at her lowest point. To be seen is not simply to be noticed. It means to be fully recognized, to have your reality acknowledged without being minimized or corrected. To be seen means your story has weight, even if it unfolds quietly. Many of us believe we must earn that kind of recognition, that we must become stronger, more faithful, more put together before we are worthy of God's attention. But Hagar's story gently interrupts that belief. God sees her before anything is resolved. And while her circumstances do not instantly change, something within her does. She is no longer invisible. She is no longer alone in the vastness of the unknown. That recognition steadies her. Here is what this means for you and me. We often spend so much energy searching for answers, trying to figure out what everything means, where we are supposed to go, what we are supposed to do. We want certainty. We want solid ground before we take the next step. But sometimes, what we need most is not an explanation. It is presence. To know we are not navigating this alone. To know our experience is not dismissed or forgotten. To know that even when everything feels unsettled, we are still held. Hagar's story reminds us that being seen by God does not require us to be composed, confident, or figured out. It only requires that we exist as we are. Maybe right now, you are in a season where you feel emotionally adrift, where the path ahead feels unclear, where your efforts seem unnoticed and your prayers unanswered. You might be carrying responsibilities that feel heavier than you can bear. You might be standing in a place you never intended to be. This story is for you, not because it promises quick fixes, but because it reminds you that God's awareness of you does not depend on your progress. God's attention does not waver when your strength does. The same God who met Hagar in the wilderness continues to meet people today. In quiet rooms, in crowded days, in sleepless nights. In moments when you feel forgotten. In places where you have been pushed aside. In seasons when you question whether your life holds meaning beyond just surviving. Hagar's declaration still echoes across the centuries. I have been seen. And friend, so have you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I am so glad you are here, discovering these stories for the first time. May you know, really know, that you are seen, known, and loved by the God who calls you by name.